Greetings, Metalheads. Welcome to another edition of the Friday 13th YouTube channel. Today, we've got an exclusive interview with the legend. We're talking to Graham Bonnet, formerly with the Rainbow, MSG, Alcatrazz. Now, Graham's done some fantastic albums throughout his career and still a man with an amazing voice. So I want to thank Graham for doing this interview and also Beth for setting up his interview. So please, folks, check it out. Please subscribe and please leave comments. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the interview. Speak to you soon.
Anyway, hello.
Are you all right, mate? How's Skegness?
Yeah, let's talk about Skegness. When was it built? Yeah, no.
So, Graham, we're talking to Graham Bonnet from former Rainbow, former Alcatrazz MSG. How are you doing, Graham?
Yeah, it's yes, it's Graham Bonnet, and I am here.
So, Graham, I'm going to ask you some warm-up questions first. Growing up as a young child, who inspired you to become a singer? Which musicians did you look at? Was it guitar? Because I know you used to play guitar, didn't you, as well?
Yeah. Well, I still do, obviously.
Yeah.
I got a guitar when I was about 11, and I didn't know how to tune it or anything. But eventually, my next door neighbor who played piano said, "Let me tune that in for you." So, what do you mean? So I was playing this guitar completely out of tune, playing little instrumentals by myself and making up, my own things. And so he tuned it in. It was like, oh, wow. And so then I got myself a chord book, blah, 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 blah. Then when my cousin came along from Australia a little bit later, about when I was, I'd be about 11 and a bit. My cousin Trevor Gordon, he showed me a few chords because he'd been playing with the Bee Gees at this time. He showed me a few chords and I learned the chords and it developed from there. But I found out that this was just a tool. Not me. Yeah, I am a tool, but yeah. But the guitar was more a tool than this. My voice was the most important thing, but I learned all the chords I could and went up to my bedroom and went singing away to myself, Roy Orbison songs and whatever at that time. And then the Beatles came along, and I remember my first sheet music of the Beatles was "Please Please Me," and the key of E. Yeah. And I remember my dad coming upstairs. He said, "I like that song, but you sing it better than those guys."
Awesome.
I didn't really, but
yeah. All right. Okay, then. Because you was in a band called the Marbles, wasn't you?
The guitar was like a secondary thing to this.
Right then, I know you was in a band called the Marbles. You had a single, didn't you? Only One Woman. I mean, I was watching the video on YouTube. It's kind of like a black and white Spinal Tap video. No disrespect.
Actually, is that the one with the dancer?
Yeah, the one. Listen to the flower people.
Yeah. I mean, how do you dance to that freaking song? You can't.
You can't.
That's Trevor Gordon. That is my cousin who taught me to play guitar. He was with the Bee Gees in Australia, and that's why we had this relationship with the Bee Gees. And Barry wrote the tune "Only One Woman," and I said to Trevor, "What is that? What's she doing?" I said, "You can't do all this." Why? That was it was either in France or Germany, but I remember that video. I mean, that girl dancing was so stupid, but the song was great. I mean, I can't fault that in any way. It did really great for us, and Barry Gibb always writes great songs. What can I say about it? But that was the beginning of our career, basically. The Marvel.
Yeah, so you moved on and you met like Richie Blackmore. I mean, how did you hook up with Richie?
Well, that, believe it or not, was through that song. They were playing a game in wherever they were. The dog wants to come in. Oh, okay, it's the dog. I'm sorry. Here she comes. It was one night in Switzerland or France or somewhere on the border of Switzerland and France that Rainbow were rehearsing and getting ready to find themselves a new singer. They auditioned 80 people, I found out eventually. 80?
Wow.
And so one night they were playing Spot the Tune, and Cozy Powell had this, boom box, and they put this tape in there, and they were going through all these different tunes, and only one woman came up. And Richie said, "Where's this guy now? Where is he?" And he said, "I think he's just given up. He's doing other things." And Roger Glover, he was working with Mickey Moody, who was with the same management as me in London. And he said, "Well, I can get in touch with Mickey and then get Graham's number." So then I got a call from Roger and said, "Would you come over to, France, Switzerland, wherever the fuck it was?" It was right on the border. It was in the middle of it. I don't know. Everyone else has been squished. Oh, my God. France, Switzerland, France, Switzerland. There's one of those. You can jump over the border, yeah.
Yeah.
And so Roger called me up and said, "Would you like to come over and audition for the band Rainbow?" And I said, I don't know who Rainbow is. So anyway, my manager says, "Go out and buy some albums. There are Rainbow albums." So I went out and bought a couple of albums and saw that, what it was. And I thought, "Oh God, it's like a rock band." And I had no clue that it was, before it was Rainbow, it was Deep Purple. And so anyway, I went over to audition, and you know, that's how it worked out. So I got the job because of that song that Barry Gibb wrote, "Only One Woman." Where's that guy now? Because all that stuff, all the high notes and all the rest of it, the soul. He liked that R&B kind of thing. So it was. I was just very lucky to be
Wow.
picked by Rich and everybody else.
So what was your favorite songs from Down to Earth? Which ones did you like recording and playing live?
From what?
From what was your favorite songs you recorded on Down to Earth? What did you like? What was your favorite ones, and which songs did you like to play live from the album?
Oh, from the Rainbow album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Down to Earth, obviously, that's our opening song. And Lost in Hollywood, I love that. Love's No Friend, that's the bluesy one. And I like them all, really. I like all of them. They sound, now I listen to them, they sound pretty good, and I thought that, well, eventually this kind of music will be dated, but it doesn't sound like that to me. It sounds pretty modern, and I love the songs. Roger wrote the words, and I made up the melody with Roger. So we had a good thing going there. Because I didn't know what to do. Roger came to me one day, and when we started recording, he said, "Do you want to come to my room?" We're in a Holiday Inn. He said, "Want to come to my room to write some words?" I went, "What?" Because I'd never written words before. And I said, "I haven't done it, Roger. I've only written words for my songs, which are nothing like this." And so he said, "Well, you could come and help me out at least and see what we're going to do." So he wrote the words to all the songs. And then when we went in to record the vocal, he gave me a basic idea and said, "Okay, now do that your way. Take that where you may, So that's basically what I did, was sing the melody, new melodies to a rough sketch that Roger would have given me. So it
Right then.
was a lot of fun and very hard work, actually, because we did every song, I think it was 3 or 4 times, all different versions. Like Eyes of the World, that one I'm talking about. It had 4 different, efforts. So it had like a verse and a chorus to that song, but completely different to the finished product. And Richie would come in after we'd finished the singing of one verse, one chorus. He'd come in and say, "That one. No, not that one. Oh, how about that one? Number two with number one." Da, da, da. That kind of thing. So it was all a bit Frankenstein, but it was we were recording for months. It was, I don't know how many months it was, 2 or 3 or something. It's quite a long time because of, it was a learning process for me. I'd never done this music before, but I found out that it was pretty good doing it. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, the album also brought success where you've been at Monsters of Rock Festival with like Judas Priest, Scorpion, Saxon, April Wine. That must have been awesome for you, playing the very first Donington.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I said playing the very first Donington back in the day must have been absolutely awesome for you with like Judas Priest and Scorpions and Saxon, April
Yeah.
Wine. That must have been that must have been great for you playing it because it's still going now as download.
Yeah, what are you talking about,
Monsters,
Donington?
yeah, Monsters of Rock, yeah, more Donington, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, oh, Monster Rock. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean that was amazing. Now I'm now back friends with Bruce Dickinson. I haven't seen him for like 20 million years, so he's back in my life a little bit now. He's just done a track for our album,
Okay.
and I wrote the song that he's singing on. So they've got like a duet going there, which is I'm so fucking excited about that. He's just such a nice guy. And he didn't ask for money. No money, going to do it for free. Fucking
Wow.
hell.
That's
So
absolutely
he
awesome,
put me
Graham.
back down a couple of days ago. So I've written this song. He's going to take like the last verse and the last chorus. And then we kind of do a thing at the end, both of us. So that's really exciting for me. And the singer from Halloween, he's going to do a song too.
Which one, Michael, Andy, or Kai?
Kai.
Kai, right. That's going to
Yeah.
be good. He's got a good voice.
That's going to be cool. Yeah. So, he was like, oh, yeah, okay. So I don't think we want to pay him either. I was like, "But pay Bruce, why the fuck should we pay you?"
So moving on,
But
Graham,
that's
after
right
Rainbow.
now.
So
But
after
as you know, we do most of those songs from the Rainbow album because I love those songs, and it's not hard to choose. Oh, should we do that? Should we do that? Nah, nah. It's always like, yeah, we should do that. What about the instrumental? What instrumental? Anyway, it's always a pleasure to do those songs that Roger and Richie came up with, and of course myself.
Right then, so moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about Michael Schenker here. Final
Oh,
Assault
no,
album. Yeah, yes. Very briefly. So how did you get
I
involved with
remember that.
Michael? And what did you think of the album that you recorded?
Well, with him,
Yeah.
when we finished it, you mean?
Yeah, what did you think
Or
of the final
before?
results? How did you hack up with Michael in the first place?
Oh, that was again. That was like pure fluke. How did it come back? Oh, I know. I went to see Cozy Powell was playing drums with him for a while, and he went. They played at the FM station in LA, and Cozy invited me along. He said, "I'm playing with this guy called Michael Schenker." I had no idea who that was, and so I went along to see him play with this guy Michael. And after the show was over, I was up on the balcony, I remember, and he came up to me and he said, "Hey, Graham, well, what do you think about the band?" I said, "Fucking great. Great music. What a great guitar player. And of course, you're a great drummer, Koski. But we won't talk about that." And he said, "Yeah, yeah, it is a good band, isn't it?" He said, "Yeah, well, we're thinking of getting a new singer." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, Gary's going to leave or something." He didn't tell me why. And he said, "Well, we'd like you to do the job." And I said, "What do you mean? Got to sing with this band." And that's how I got into the Michael Schenker band, was because Cozy Powell said that to me that night. And I was blown away because I thought, well, why do they want to change the format when they've got a good thing working already? I thought it was fine. I thought it was really cool. Gary was singing fucking great. And I don't know what the reason was. I really don't. I didn't ask. But that's how the job came around to me.
So
Yeah.
what songs from this album do you like? What's your favorites that you recorded on the Michael Schenker album?
Well, I like Desert Song. Uh, Again, it's hard to choose because I love what Mike. I love the way he writes. Um, "Girl from Uptown," which was the B side. "Dancer," which is something that I really like. Oh my God! I mean, "Assault Attack." I like a lot of them, but I mean, "Assault Attack," I love that. It's fucking crazy. Um, but I like kind of all of them in a way because I'm spotting my songwriting because I didn't write, as I said to you, I didn't write words at that time. And Michael said, "Well, I don't write English very well, Graham." So you'll have to write the words. I thought, oh, fuck, really? So that was my learning experience by writing words and melodies, the whole freaking thing, to Michael's arrangements, which was a great feeling for me to actually accomplish that. And I love that album. I really think it's marvelous. His playing is just spot on.
Yeah, brilliant. So the Alcatrazz thing came next, as we all know, with Ingven and Steve I. I mean, that was a real successful career for you. One, you did like God Bless video, the video to that, and it was a real success for you. Hiroshima and everything. What what,
Yeah,
what memories, good memories do you have of the Alcatrazz days?
yeah. Well, it was the Michael Schenker thing came to an end because I got fired, as everybody knows the story. So I wasn't in the band anymore, and I went back to LA, and I'm sitting around there looking at my ex-wife and going, what am I going to do?" Anyway, we went to a pool party one day, me and her, in Los Angeles, and Richie Blackmore's guitar tech was there, and he got me in touch with this guy called Andy Truman, who managed the Bay City Rollers, Jethro Tull, and what's his name? Oh, God, I can't think of his fucking name now. Anyway, that's too big. I'm not awake, am I? Yes, so that's how it began. And I said to Andy, the guy I met at this pool party, I said, "Well, I'm thinking I should do something, but I don't know what to do. He said, well, why don't you put a band together? And so it started from there, and he started, going to management and blah 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 blah, etc., trying to get this happening. And he said, well, what we better do is find, first of all, you can play guitar and play the music you want to write. So we looked in like a magazine for musicians, and there were these two guys from a band that were called New England, a bass player and a keyboard player. And he said, that's perfect. That's what we need. We need a lineup like, like Rainbow, keyboard player, bass player, guitar, blah, blah, blah. And these two guys were looking for a job. And he said, bass player and keyboard player looking for work or whatever it said in the advert. And so they came over to my house, and we sort of went into the garage and played a bit. So that was the beginning there. And then Andy said, well, we better find somebody else. We need a drummer. We heard that this guy from Alice Cooper's band had left, and that was Jan Uvina. And so we got in touch with him. He came in, and then we were really stuck for a guitar player. I don't know how many guitar players we auditioned, but it's fucking a lot. I mean, half the time I wasn't there at the auditions. And then I remember I was at one with Lawrence Juba, who was with Paul McCartney, his guitar player. And I remember sitting in the living room with him, and he was playing, and it just wasn't right. It was too nice on the guitar. And somebody said one day when we're in the shop, said, "Are you looking for a guitar player, right?" He said, "We got this guy. I know a guy who would be perfect for your band, and his name is Yngwie Malmsteen." What? And so, what's he doing? Well, he has his own band at the moment, but he's looking for something a bit more, upscale or whatever. And I don't know if we were upscale, but we were trying. Anyway, Yngwie, I got in touch with him, and he was coming to rehearsal to, see what it was like, audition, if you will. And I asked him to play something that wasn't Rainbow, totally, nothing to do with Rainbow or, anything. It wasn't heavy metal. It was a song called SOS that Russ Ballard wrote. And I asked him to audition with that piece. And he came over, and there he was. He walks in the room. He looks like Richie Blackmore. He's got the spandex, blah, 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 white boots, the whole thing. I thought, Richie, But anyway, he was a very young Richie Blackmore. And he comes and he plays the song. I went, fucking hell. It was so good. I never heard anything like it. Then he said, well, can I play something from Rainbow? Absolutely. So I did a couple of songs from Rainbow, and he was just genius. I mean, this kid was amazing. And that was the beginning of Alcatrazz. And then we took it from there. We had a record deal, and we started writing songs for the new record, and the first record came out. That's behind you. It's it's a good time, but things went along. But that was a good time.
Wow. So I mean, the next one, this is one of my favorite pieces of work that you've done, Graham.
Oh, is it?
Your voice on this album is absolutely fucking amazing. Very powerful. Tell me a little bit about this album, because this is a cult classic to me.
What?
This is a cult classic album to me.
Really?
Yeah. I love it.
It's to me then. It's so funny when people say, that you've been part of my life or whatever. This is blah, blah, blah. I was 12 and I heard you. All right, shut up. My granddad has your. Shut up. Okay. But cult classic. I haven't heard that one before, but I appreciate that, because that was a really good album to make. We had great players, as you know, Chris and everybody. It was hard work, but I was given the opportunity to write all the melodies and the lyrics, which was great. And so we had a single called "Stand in Line," which was the first thing we released, and I was very pleased with that. And people just were saying, "Wow, what great song, great song." It didn't do too much, but it was people now ask for it, after all these millions of years. But it was a great band, and Chris always wanted to play faster and faster, and I was going, well, no. It's just if you're playing it faster, it'd be one note. I remember we did a show in Tokyo with Billy Joel. There's Billy Joel, Boz Staggs, Art Garfunkel, weird lineup, and us, And one day, Chris is in his dressing room, and he's twiddling away, doing all that. And Billy Joel goes by, says, "Hasn't that fucking guy kill that bloody thing yet? He banged on that. Hey, stop! I didn't kill that bloody guitar yet. No, he didn't say bloody, but anyway. But it was kind of a funny moment, but a great concert. It was great to meet Billy Joel as well. He's one of my favorite artists.
I mean,
But it was a
one
good
of my
time.
one of my favorite songs on the album is "I Will Fly Tonight." I will fly. That song is awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Killer,
that one. Yeah,
yeah,
that
killer
was.
song.
Yeah, that's the story of Peg Entwistle. It's a true story. She lived on Beechwood. Beechwood was the street. I don't know how she was Beechwood. Yeah, that's the words. I'm thinking about it now. She wanted to be an actress. She came over from England and she wanted to be an actress and she just didn't get anything. I think she had like a little bit part in a movie or something, but it wasn't what she wanted. She wanted to be a proper, film star or such. And she was living with her uncle in Beechwood, the Avenue in LA. And she said to her uncle one day, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And she never came back. The story goes there was a girl on top of the H in Hollywood, the Hollywood sign, and she jumped. And tonight I fly. That's what the story's about. She
Right,
jumped because of her disappointment, her depression, with nothing happening for her career. So
right.
she the fucking Hollywood sign.
I mean, Chris is
I,
an
I,
amazing shredder, as we all know. But that you've worked with other shredders like Anthem from Japan. You did some work with
Hey,
those guys, didn't you?
what?
You did some work with another shredding band, Anthem from Japan.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm from well recently. We played with Naoto, the guitar player, when we went to Japan about a year or so ago. And Naoto came on and did a little bit, and he let Bethany play bass, even though Naoto's a bass player. So Naoto was playing guitar, and he came up. He did a couple of songs with us when we played in Tokyo. And he's great. What a great band! I love those guys. They're fucking good. They
Yeah,
really, they're so tight. That's the thing about Japanese bands. They're just I don't know what it is, but they've got something that we don't have, and I don't know what it is.
I agree with you on that. They're very talented musicians.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. And it's like, Loudness. They're friends of mine as well. I mean, those two bands, you can't beat it. And
Yeah.
they're so dedicated and they're angry when they play their music. It's fucking great.
I mean, you've done this as well. You did the Michael Schenker
Oh,
Fest. Yeah, a little
yes.
bit about that. You played in Hull because I was at the show, as you probably remember. I was doing photography, so that was a really good festival. That three singers on stage. It must have been quite
Yeah.
hard trying to work all your parts out on the live and in the rehearsals.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, it's great to see Robin and all of them. It's just a fucking great. Doing the harmonies or doing our harmonies together, whatever. It was really fun. And I went up to the famous my dick falling out of my pants in the Michael Schenker gig years ago. One day, I thought, I know, I'm going to play a joke on him. And I got a banana and I put it in my pocket and we're singing, doing the thing. And I unzip my pants and this banana comes out and he didn't know what to do. He just we kept on playing. But that was, Michael writes such great songs. And, when you're working with great singers, it's a treat. And we all respected each other. And I'll sing harmony on that one. You can sing harmony with me on this. And it was a really good tour. I really enjoyed it.
So, did you do any Banana Split covers?
What? Yeah, da, 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 da. Hey. Yeah, banana splits. It was what's that song? Yeah, I remember the things that come. Oh,
Yeah.
la 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 la. Yeah,
That was awesome, Graham.
yeah,
Moving on now, we're going to talk briefly about your band. You're actually in the studio now, aren't you? Doing your own. Is it? Have
yeah,
you actually doing pre-production right now, or is it the
yeah.
album you're working on?
Yeah, well, I'm writing songs as we speak, not at the moment,
Yeah.
but I just finished another song. We've got one, two, three, four. We've got four. And Russ Ballard has written another song for us, which we got the other day, and it's fucking amazing. It's really, really good. And so we're getting along with it. We need obviously probably 11 songs. So we're getting on slowly, but it's better to go slowly instead of rushing it and it comes out as a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Take your time. But sometimes we have too much time, and uh, but I think it's going to be good. It's going to be our fourth album.
Wow. Are
Yeah.
you using the same lineup that you had at Headbangers Open Air, the same musicians?
One more time, what?
Are you working with the same musicians you had at
Yeah.
Headbangers Open Air?
Yeah, yeah. It'll be all the same guys, yes. So we all know each other, so it's no problem. And there might be some guests on the album, though, as I said, Bruce being one, and the fucking hell, what
Kai
was his name?
Hansen.
That guy. Yeah. I don't know him. I've known Bruce for thousands of years, but I don't know the. Yeah, I mean that'd be really cool. The Halloween singer.
Have you got wrote so
What's that?
far? How many songs have you got wrote so far?
Well, as I said, it's about five. Five
Right.
I've made up, and my book is over there. Um, so, as I said, six with Ross's tune, and I don't know if anybody else has got anything. I'm not quite sure, but so basically six.
Right.
The Ross one we're definitely doing because it's fucking killer. Really is.
Right. Are you still sound with Frontier Records?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Good. So how does this new album differ from the previous album you've done? What
How do they?
direction?
Well, this one.
Yeah, the one that you're working on now. How do you see it in a direction from the previous
It
album?
will it will be similar to the Day Out Nowhere album. I think we've got kind of our sound, sort of ish. It's very hard to have your own sound in the days of, how do you have stuff? No, don't do that. We're trying to be intelligent. As I said years ago, the thinking man's heavy metal, which is sort of what I write about nothing that's got to do with Dungeons and Dragons and chains and whips and all that kind of thing, because that's a bit dated and I can't relate to it. That's one of the reasons at the beginning when I did join Rainbow, nothing to do with what we're talking about now, but when I did join Rainbow, I'm listening to the songs, I'm going, oh, what's that? What's he singing about? Because I was doing like R&B and pop and that kind of stuff when I got asked to do the audition for them. But this is going to be hopefully something like Day Out Nowhere. We want it to have a modern sound, but with little things that are sort of unusual. Like we've got two songs in 3/4 time, which is waltz time, which you don't do that, but we do. So we've got two songs, just a little bit different. People don't expect to hear a waltz on a so-called heavy rock album.
Yeah, but we didn't expect to over the rainbow on Impellitteri, but we did.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if I, yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of songs that might, I've got a plan to our guitar player that he might go, what's that? Because I've got one that starts off like a country song, but then it goes into like an AC/DC song. So you cut off and what this bit I've got, and then it goes into a straight AC/DC major chord,
Yeah.
with distortion and all that shit. So because we never do that, we're always in minor keys and creepy shit, minor keys and diminished chords and whatever chords, jazz chords. But this is very straightforward, and I haven't played it to him yet. I've told him that, hey, Conrad, I've got this song that's really like AC/DC. He said, oh, that would be great. Very straightforward, no bullshit. So I hopefully will be putting that on the album. We'll see. We'll see what happens because it starts off, as I said, as a country song.
Right. Do you have a title for the new album?
Uh, no, not yet.
No.
We were thinking of can we just go? Well, that's my thing. When I'm waiting around in the dress, everybody is packing their fucking gear up, whatever. I don't have a microphone case. Come on, Sooty. Come on, Sooty, you daft bugger. I don't have a microphone case, but they're packing up whatever. They're fucking, leads and whatever the fuck else. If it takes forever putting their guitars away, and then of course they get involved with the audience, blah 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 blah, and we can't get out of there. And I many nights I'm sitting there for about an hour in the dressing room. I didn't want to get involved with the audience because I know we'd never escape, you know. And I'm going, can we just go? Can we just go? So that might be the title.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right, Graham, I want to thank you for doing this interview. I hope you have a fantastic day, and please thank Beth for setting up this interview. It was a pleasure to meet you again in Headbangers Open Air.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say to the people watching this on YouTube?
Yeah. What's that? Sorry, one more
Do you
time.
have anything to say to anybody watching this on YouTube?
You. Fucking best. Well, I'd like to say, please listen. I'd like to play more in this country, you know, where we're at home. We're always getting on a plane and having jet lag permanently. It's very hard in this country to get what we're doing because it's not fashionable for one thing, and but for we want to just spread the word about this band because I think it's a great band, and we always get great compliments every time we play. But a lot of our sessions, gigs, I should say, are in Europe, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we'd like to do a bit more of our home stuff if we can. But I'm looking forward to going back to England and hopefully to Ireland possibly. But you know, and seeing people in Germany again, etc. Because we love playing for anybody, you know. We don't care. They might smell, but we don't care. Now,
Right.
but listen to the music. Listen to that Graham Bonnet band, the one that's behind you, A Day Out in Nowhere, because I think that's really puts a stamp on who we are and the sound we are, you know. Yeah, man.
All right then, Graham. Enjoy yourself, and I'll see you in Skegness or Hull.
Yeah, well, hey. Yeah.
Take care, my friend.
Like the donkeys.
Thank you, my friend.
God
bless, mate. Cheers,
then.
Bye, Graham.
All right, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.